Hey, it's Ann with Andale Homestead.
I'm Monica with Bland's Promised Land Ranch.
Hello, everyone. It is Casey over at Ormsby Farm. And so we do have news, and we're going to start off with it. As you could tell, there's only three of us.
Yeah.
And we are very sad to have to announce that Sandy from Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona, has decided to leave YouTube and leave the podcast as well. It was a rough conversation that we all had to have.
Yes.
She is wanting to spend more time with family, which we cannot blame her.
Absolutely.
Being a social media influencer takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And we completely respect Sandy's decision. I am going to play her video for those that did not see the video that came out. And I know I'll let Monica and Ann talk too, but from me, and I can speak for my other two co-hosts, it was a true honor. We don't know if Sandy's watching this or if she's able to watch it, but it truly was an honor to work with Sandy. And she is a dear friend, and we absolutely adore her. So, yes, I'll pass it to you, Ann. Do you want to talk a little bit before we show the video from Sandy?
Absolutely. We are thrilled to have had this experience with Sandy, to gather the knowledge that we did with her. We're all very sad to leave her, but we support her and understand that family comes first, no matter what. Well, the Lord and then family comes first. And so we hope that maybe we can talk her into still letting us text her and call her for information and the like. But yes, she's going to leave a big hole here, but we're going to be fortitude and march on through. And Monica?
Sorry, I'm not on mute. I'm not going to say much because I'm probably going to cry. So
Yeah.
I'm good.
We've all cried. Don't you make me cry. We've all cried.
We have.
We love
we
her.
had we do love her, and I do want to play the video again for those that did not see it. I'll go ahead and play it and put it forward, and then we will continue on with our episode. So
Here we go.
Hello, good afternoon to all my fabulous members, for all my subscribers, and all you guys that are viewers at Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. A few of you know this because I sent emails out, but today is my last day with YouTube. Today's my last video with YouTube. And in many ways, I'm very sad about that. I have been making videos just a month under 5 years. And it has been very fun, sometimes very hard. Sometimes it just touches your heart beyond words. Sometimes you got people out there that are just plain, you know what I'm talking about. It's all a mixture. But it's time in my life at 66 years old to have a new adventure. I need some time more with my family. One of the reasons we are selling our place in Arizona is because of that. I'm making some big changes this year, this fall, and maybe even a few more in the springtime. We'll see how that goes. But I need some time. I need some time with my family. I need some time, me time. You know, I've always strived to be my authentic self. And if things get too crowded around me, I have a hard time with that. You know, I have too many things pulling me in too many different directions. And I just need some time. Now, I know that some of you have already told me, just leave your YouTube up, you know, just let the videos run. You'll still make money for a while. That's true. But I do know myself. And if I leave it up, pretty soon I'll be reading the comments and I'll be answering the comments and I will be thinking, oh, I could do a video about this, or I could do a video about that. But I just wanted to tell you, thank you. Thank you for becoming my friends. Thank you for all that you have done to support me. I hope you find new channels that you will love. And you might see me once in a while pop on a video, but for a while, I won't be on YouTube at all. I just need that space. I need that time. We leave for Arizona next week. And that's going to be a fast and furious trip. We're just going down there, we're putting the floor down, changing the toilet, putting it up for sale. We're back. So we're not gone long. And then I have some things to do. So everybody, just know that I so appreciate you. I was going to do a members video separately, but I didn't think I could get through 2 videos. I know I could get through 1 video, but I wasn't sure I could get through 2. So everybody, take every single day and be the best you can be. Look for those miracles everywhere. I love you. This is Sandy at Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona, signing off. But this video will be up for today. Tomorrow is a new month, and so I don't want to take down my YouTube channel until in October, because I'd like to get paid for September. Just the facts. But I'll see you around after a while. Bye, everybody.
So who's going to take a breath and speak first? Because we all have tears missing her. She's going to be great. She's going to do amazing things. And this woman is a woman that utilizes her time. I have said many, many times, how in the world do you have all that energy, Sandy, to keep going and keep doing all these great things? So she may not be here with us on the podcast, but she's still here and she's still alive and kicking and will be able to advise us. So,
Well, I told Eric the other night I was going to have to go and watch a bunch of stuff on her channel and screen record everything that I
yes,
was not
Right.
going to. So everybody that's here, if you're interested and you still know that you have things that Sandy has put up that you want to hear, go grab and screen record it for yourself.
that's right.
That's my
right.
tip to you, because I was like, I know I want to go to bed early. Like, I'm like, I got to get in bed. There's so many things this week. We're so busy. And I was like, I'm going to stay up till like 3 a.m. just screen recording things. Like, how was I going to make vanilla without Sandy? Like, I don't
I'm
trust
telling you.
everybody.
Right.
Like, I don't trust everybody. So I think that was probably why it's so hard for me. Cause I'm like, I need your channel because I don't trust other people. So if I ask how to do such and such and Sandy has a video, I want to go to Sandy's video. So I think that's what's been the hardest for me, is like, what? She's not going to be here for me to jump over and look at a video. So
That's right. We're going to have to
yeah.
download her
But
all
just
of her videos.
So just know that Casey and I are hanging on very tight to Miss Ann right now because we're really nervous. I'm like, Casey, don't kick her off, okay? You and I need to be on our P's and Q's with this little lady.
Yes. And good news is, for most of y'all know, we pre-record our episodes, the podcast episodes. So you will have 6 more episodes with Sandy. Yeah.
Woohoo!
It's just the morning show that we are very sad that she will not be joining us with.
Yeah.
So
Lady.
that was our tough news.
That's right.
We adore her. We respect her. We respect her decision.
Yes.
And, it was a true honor and blast to work with her these past couple of weeks.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gracious. She
But-
really, truly was. Now, this is, I appreciate her and everyone else. And so we're going to persevere.
Yeah.
And
Well, do you want to say hi to everybody?
Yes, I can scroll back up so Miss Ann
We
can
need
say
to
hello.
scroll
Hold
I
up
on.
would
so
love
Miss
to.
Annie
I
can
can
see
scroll
hi.
back up as well. Let's see, coming out, we've got good
Ginger.
morning, Ginger from Not for Nothing Homestead. You sweet girl. Troy Sutton is in West Virginia and he's dealing with storm
Yeah.
aftermath. We love him. Hey, Chesty and Lisa from Lazy Days Ahead, Makeup Mom and Son. We're really glad that you're here as well. Come and speaking and seeing us fall apart. But hey, Cynthia, we're glad you're here. Two doves, bees, and gardens. Plethora of information over there at their house. Hey, Kayla, cousin Kayla from Sneed's Farmhouse. Hey, my Danny Days Ahead. We're so glad to see you back in the YouTube world, young lady, because we have missed you. So, Grace and Fire, good morning, Glenda. Grace and Fire is a plethora of information as well. Tamara, L&L Homestead. I love that you put your name in there. That helps me a lot. Hi, Evie. We're glad you're here and praying for everybody recovering. That's right. Life on Dyer Family Farm. What a treat to have you in here, sweetie. Cousin Sweets and Treats, she says, or they say, he says, from Springfield, Oregon. That's amazing and wonderful. Hi, Brian from the Vineyard Farmhouse. We're tickled to have you in here. He's popping in and out, and I know that man is working away because he is a worker and a maker. And so we're thrilled to have him. Yep, smash that like button, everybody. So, what we're doing today is broadcasting on all three of our channels: Ormsby Farms, Bland's Promised Land Ranch, and A&L Homestead, as well as Round the Hay Bale. Normally, what we're going to try to do on Fridays is keep this live to be about 30 minutes or so. Pop in, give you a little recap of what our latest podcast was about that came out this past Monday or the Mondays previously or current events even. You never know what we're going to do as far as we may pop around the bend. But we want to invite you to go over to Round the Hay Bale because that is our core. That is our core channel. And if you could subscribe, that would be great. Like the live over there because as soon as we get to 500 subscribers on Round the Hay Bale season 5, then we're going to be able to have a big old giveaway. And I think that's going to be a blast. So, Casey, what is happening over there? We're so glad that you have power again, my dear.
I am back to the land of the power. And I want to thank all three of y'all for the prayers and the posts because we didn't have any service, so nobody kind of knew what was going on. And I do appreciate everybody's emails and Instagram messages that checked on us here. We are good. Our town did get hit, but we were talking about this before. It was more of inconvenience that we got hit with: the no power, the no water, the no cell phone service. I know that our prayers and hearts are going out to the people in West North Carolina.
Mhm.
That towns have mudslide washed away. So I wanted to talk about being prepared because we talked a little bit about this before our live. I preach all the time about being prepared, and y'all, I was not prepared for this. I
That's
was
reality.
not prepared to be without water. And as I was using all my hours with no television or YouTube, you get to thinking, I wish I would have practiced what I preached on the podcast. Um, and so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. We have over our 5 seasons, we have many episodes on being prepared.
Yes.
Um, and I think we'll probably do some more episodes going forward. But that was just the one thing is you have to be prepared. I know that, Anne, you said, I mean, how can you be prepared for
Right.
your home?
Right. Well, because with Worth and I was thinking now, I probably would be okay for a couple of weeks without electricity, without water, because of the preparations that we have made. Water would be a stretch. We still have holes in our water, but we don't have a farm to feed or water animals and things like that. So we could make out. But how do you prepare? Everything that we have, everything that we own is in this house. And if something came, some sort of tornado or fire or wall, a 20-foot tall wall of water and mud came at us and took my house away, what do you do? And what we're doing is depending on each other. We're gathering. Good people take care of people. And so that's what we're doing. It doesn't matter what party that you're in politics, what church you belong to. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. It's moving forward and helping each other. And it's a big deal to know that sometimes you just have to let go and understand that we do need each other in this world. We're stronger together. So, Monica, what do you think about that?
Well, I was going to say, it's important too. I guess because I'm the one that has little kids and you
Right.
have your grands and stuff, but it's important to show our children. And I
Yes.
think the way we can do that is really having a legacy and showing our children how we as adults will come together and put
Right.
aside all of whatever we may not like about each other. And
Right.
we'll come together because when people need help, people need people.
Yes.
Whether it's just you need to walk through, you give them your muck boots, you take the shirt off your back and you hand it, whatever you need,
Right.
you can help people just by being there. And it's just teaching your children to do that same thing is
Yeah.
so important. And I think that's one of the ways we can really do that is really just really showing that adults can be big and do
Yep.
big things and kids can do big things too. I've got my teenagers, Liberty, my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, in one day, her brother and sister are learning and training, and they're going to be, learning how to help further away in those states east. Cousins that have gone that are people that are linemen and people that can go help get power back on and do things. And yeah, definitely rely on one another.
Yep.
Exactly.
I had the pleasure of working in a hurricane relief center this week. This is the first day we haven't been there all week. And this was not, people kept saying, what organization are you working with? What organization are you doing? We weren't an organization. It was a young woman that put out a cry for help in Edenton. We got businesses to donate the area. There was another trucking service, Stallings Family Trucking, that donated tractor trailers and drivers to take there. We were waiting for people as they brought things. I had people donating like crazy to me personally, and the grandchildren and I were able to go out and go shopping and purchase all the emergency things. And I was able to take them back to the center, and they helped pack boxes and buckets and things like that. So that was a life lesson, a long life lesson that people take care of people. But these were individuals. It was not a military or government program or anything like that. This was a girl in Edenton, North Carolina that had a cousin in West Jefferson, North Carolina, right out about an hour north of Asheville. And these were cousins looking after cousins. And when these goods were delivered, yes, we had a United Methodist Church that they got delivered to because that's where her cousins happened to be. But they knew who needed supplies and were able to get it out to other towns, and had the last tractor trailer that we had up there had him stop at 3 different places along the bend. And instead of that one church, they knew that other people in other areas needed it and kept sending on. So what a blessing in a tragedy
Absolutely. Absolutely.
to be able to have happy and sad tears, be sad and happy all at the same time. It's such an unusual feeling. Yeah, Evie, there were some scammers, but you know what? Hey, Nanny Tam, when you talk about people that are going straight to people, and you're not that all organizations are bad, they're not. But when you give your hard-earned $20 or you're sending a flashlight or diapers or baby formula, you want it to go to the people, not to the organization. So that's my little spiel today. So Casey,
I was about to say, I agree with that spiel, Miss Aaron. I agree with that spiel.
you have been help us understand how you made out what your plans might be in the future if something comes along and you don't have what you thought you had for the grid to go down.
Yeah, I think I can't remember who on the podcast talked about it, but I had decided that I needed a list. I needed like a checklist. Because listen, as homesteaders, our brains are all over the place. I know between the three of us today, trying to find words to even do this morning show, which we're so appreciative that everybody's in. But we have Sandy leaving. Monica's about to get her second son married literally in 24 hours.
Yes, tomorrow.
Anne's planning for next week of craziness of travel. I'm finally back to, human contact instead of just chickens. So I need a checklist to be able to say, okay, this done. I know for a lot of the homes here in the area where I live, a lot of us have generators that are attached to our homes, but for mine, our well house is the one thing in 10 acres that is not hooked up to that generator, whether it was the generator didn't have enough power to power all that and a well, who knows, but I was not prepared water wise. And when you have 74 poultry animals on your homestead, they suck through water like you would not believe. Especially, Monica, you've done this. Do Cornish cross just drink more water than any other animal? Yes.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of fatties that eat and drink, eat and drink, eat and drink. Oh, they eat and drink, poop. They poop again, then they eat and drink, then they poop and poop and poop, eat and drink and poop. It's just pretty much a vicious cycle of disgusting.
It's absolutely awful too, because I'm counting down the days until processing day. And I know, Lord, that is horrible. You know my heart. But when people say that the Cornish cross are nasty birds, and you will be ready. Like I've heard, I don't know if I could, do it at processing time. And everyone said, no, trust me, the week before you're going to be ready. We are ready.
Nasty.
But they sucked up so much water that I wasn't worried about me or anybody else, human wise. I was worried about these poor animals. And whether they're meat birds or egg layers or whatever they are, we as homesteaders always treat the animals the same way, give them the best life for as long as they're living on your homestead. So water was a big thing. So having a checklist saying, hey, do I have barrels of water filled up for my animals? And if my generator is running off propane, maybe, Casey, you should check your propane tank before the hurricane hits and make sure that you are full of propane. So I think for me, going forward, having a checklist, because you listen, y'all, I could have the best pantry, most well-stocked with food and everything, but if you don't have water,
it's the number one.
It's the number one thing. So, and I will say that I said it on one of my YouTube videos, figuring out how to shower and make yourself clean, because unless you've gone through that, it is the worst feeling.
Right.
To feel nasty and sticky and smelly constantly. And there was a lady on TV that said, at some point you get over the pits, nuts, butt shower the whole time. And that literally is where it was. I have to be more prepared on water. I felt
I
like
have a saying, but it's a little different than that I won't share.
Yeah, mine was the PG-13 version, maybe a little more than that.
I cannot believe you just said that.
Put a little liveliness back into the show. Give us off this madness. But
I will say that's been on my list too. So we have a generator between the two houses, and that's something John just said. We definitely have taken note. We don't have a generator. It's now very high on our list. I think that for us, because we are prepared as much as we can. But I thought about that. I was like, okay, we don't have a well. So our water is out.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of other resources for water because we do have water collection units. We have all the water collection. So I thought, what would we do? And I thought, okay. And, Erica was like, it's fine. We could do this. But my concern would be generator wise, do we have what we need for that? Could we run because we do have a lot of freezers that are filled. And would I lose that immediately?
Right.
How can I get that meat safely to my family that doesn't live on the property so that they can eat? Because then they can at least cook over a fire, things like that. So yeah, there you go. But I think that that's important to really take stock of where you did miss out.
Well, did y'all know? I was going to say, because I looked it up once we had power again. How long do things in the fridge last if your power goes out? Do y'all know?
3 days if you don't open it. Is that right?
I don't know. I thought 48 or 72 hours.
You just
4 hours, they'll stay cold.
In your refrigerator.
Now, freezer is 48 hours. But
Okay.
Because I got my deep freezers, so.
Oh yeah, deep freezers. I was the same way because that was one thing that I was prepared on. I was like, listen, if we run out of propane, big boy gonna be pulling out the canning jars and canning meat over a fire, open fire, which we did do that. We cooked out a lot, which felt very camper, off gritty. I did feel like a good homesteader there.
Good.
Maybe not necessarily the water side, but
well,
4 hours for refrigerated food. I mean, that's if you don't open the door.
Okay, so another thing too we've talked about before when it comes to canning, don't forget y'all can put water in your jars. Put water in your jars, and maybe even if you don't feel like you want to waste the seal, so just put water in your jars, put a lid on it, and put it away. It doesn't have to be. You can even boil it if you really wanted to, and then just put it away. That maybe you'll have to reboil later. Mark it somehow on there and label it, but just put water in those jars. You're storing the jars anyway. Why not just put some water in there?
That's right.
I mean, you don't have to.
Clean.
Yeah, and it's clean, or you can reboil whatever you want, but you'll have water for your animals if you need it. You have water for flushing the toilet if you need it. You'll have water for those things because not everybody has a pond like I do, and not everybody has 6 big, totes filled with water that rain catchment, because we do have a rain catchment. So water, I'm not worried about as much, right? But it's one of those things that I would worry about other stuff.
Okay. Well, we do have a creek in our backyard, but and so I always felt like I could boil that water to bathe in, at least to flush the toilet and so forth. However, have you seen the water that's in Western North Carolina? That has not only debris, but gas and oil and chemicals, and unfortunately, animals and people are in that water. And so anything other than potentially flushing the toilet would be out. I mean, that's just going to be out. So it's okay. So Desert Goat, sorry, I'm just not saying your name properly. Quick question. Any thoughts on solar panels and storing the extra power in batteries? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just saw an advertisement yesterday on I don't know if it was the Generac or one of them was a solar power. It was on 4Patriot. It was a page I was scrolling through, and it was a solar power generator. It's a clean generator. You can literally keep the generator in your house because it's solar powered only. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need that. I need them to sponsor me. I need them to send me one. I will review the snot out of it. I need to find that.
Opus reached out to us with
solar
generator.
That's exactly. I'm like, absolutely. Because one thing we do get a lot of here in Texas is sun. So I think our solar generator type thing would be great for us.
Yeah, it is. It is true.
Well, same in the South. I think all of us in the South can, rely on solar.
That's right. And it is, there are benefits to solar. There's some benefits and some detriments. The thing is, in all practicality, there are major companies that are delivering generators to Western North Carolina. Guess what? There's no gas anywhere. There's not probably within 4 hours, maybe 5 or 6 hours, there's not a portable gas can to be able to go. There is a gentleman, an IBC tote, and put a downspout from your gutters to funnel the water we get out to 160 gallons per IPC tote. I want one of those, Jennifer, Ginger. I want one of those to be able to have the IBC tote. Do you have IBC totes on your farm, Monica? Yes. Okay,
We have
good.
6 of them. We actually have 6 IBC totes. We actually have videos on how we collect water on our farm. We were able to get the IBC totes for a good price several years ago. We have videos on how not only do we hook them up to our house, 2 of them to our house, but how we transport the water from one to another. We have a generator that we actually a little mini water transfer pump. We take hoses and we run them from and then there's 4 of them stored over by my garden, like at the opposite end of my yard. And those
Okay.
get filled up. But Eric even installed a attachment so that we could attach a hose to it so I could
Good.
water my garden. And it was all do it yourself. It was all DIY. We have
Right.
some videos on that. And I'm going to tell you what, those are a huge help for our family because when it rains in Texas, it pours all at
Right.
once,
Yeah.
not just in life problems, but actual rain. It rains and pours and then it's dry. Like we haven't had rain for several weeks now. And we don't plan on getting anything here for the next week or 2 at least. So
That's
yeah, it's great to collect water when you can. Absolutely. That is the best
Agreed.
thing to do. Get them. If you can find them cheap, try to get them cheap.
Facebook
Right.
Marketplace, that kind of stuff.
But
Mhm.
people will hike them up after disasters like this. People will start to hike stuff like that up. So you're going to kind of wait until the off season
That's
when people are not
crazy.
thinking
Yeah.
about it. But
And-
yeah, for sure.
And as Ginger told all of us, please do your research because there are some generators that are better than others. I know Jesse and Lisa have one that will run on gas or propane. Those dual fuels things are wonderful. There's a lot of diesel equipment that will actually run off of vegetable oil. And there was a gentleman that drove his diesel truck a couple hours away to take supplies to the mountains, and he used vegetable oil to fuel his truck because he didn't want to be an additional problem of using their resources. Once he got there, he wanted every drop of gas that was there to go for the people that needed it. And so he used vegetable oil to run his diesel. And
Wow.
I think that's just the coolest thing.
I didn't even know. I did not even
Yeah.
know.
It's pretty cool.
I will say I saw firsthand because we were out of gas in Georgia. And I remember I was driving around to find water. And when I say it was probably, and you'll see it I have a video that came out today of that, maybe 100 to 200 cars deep, roadwise and off the interstate, waiting to get onto the gas station.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm trying to think of how to compare it to, because we had to wait in line for a generator. They only had 68 left.
Thank you.
And so there was a line. It was like back in the day, whoever is old enough to remember the Tickle Me Elmo doll, where people would fight to the blood.
Right.
That was Cabbage Patch back in the 80s for my generation.
It was Cabbage Patch, yes.
I was blown away to see grown men getting out of their trucks and fighting each other because they felt somebody like it was like the end of times. Honest to goodness. It was awful. So being prepared, I mean, have a list. Do you have what gas tanks you have? Are they full? Like storage away. Getting water tanks. That was the one thing. We have tons of empty barrels on our homestead. And I can't remember where my mind was the day before the hurricane, but I should have left those barrels out without the tops.
Right.
If I would have had my checklist and I know
I would like very much for the 3 of us to get together as far as a list of, I mean, we have list of preps, but when it comes to reality, when you're actually in that situation, and you're going to be a wonderful source, Casey, because you just went through this time frame with no water and no electricity. And what we can do, even Worth and I have a smaller 7,000 watt generator. It's not going to run our home, but it will run our refrigerators and a couple of other things at the same time, give us some lights and so forth. But we had an outside connection put on our home. And that was way not even in the storm time. But we knew that so many people die of carbon monoxide poisoning from generators that are run. And so you keep it away from your home. Those types of things where you've got your barrels that you can go, I can put water in that. Or like filling up our own bathtubs and our own sinks and things that are in our home. We forget about that stuff.
We do.
So it's been about 36 minutes. We were going to try to stick to a 30-minute time frame, especially.
We were totally off of, we were just chit-chatting away, but
yeah.
Yes, we did have an episode on canning, steam bath, water bath, all that. And you can go check it out. It was on Monday, but I will say it was a good episode. And if you can water, then that's part of being prepared.
That's right.
But also, if you have extra cans because you've canned all these things, you can actually bless people that maybe not have some things stored up. And that's a way to help people too. So
absolutely.
Well, thank you, Dorothy. Dorothy said she'll miss Sandy so much, but I'm so glad she introduced me to you all. Love y'all.
Hey,
and we love you too, Dorothy. Thank you so much. So we're going to keep on keeping on.
But I will say, next week, we will have a rerun episode talking about how much we love Sandy. Yeah. It will be our very first morning show we did with Sandy. It's a rerun next week because I am going to be processing chickens, and y'all probably don't want to see me elbow deep in feathers and chicken stuff. So we are going to do a rerun. I hope that everybody still tunes in for that rerun. Show some love on it. Show how much you love Sandy. We will completely miss her. And we actually have episodes coming back in 2 weeks on the 14th of October. Again, the next 6 episodes will include Sandy. We were very blessed to be able to get these pre-recorded with her. So you'll still have some information. And y'all, if you like Sandy information, you can still go back and listen to previous episodes of Around the Hay Bale by scanning that QR code right there on the screen and clicking which podcast platform you like, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube. Go ahead, scan it. And I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Woo. It's a weird, like squished in. Where is she? Sandy has decided to leave YouTube and the podcast. So we are very sad.
She's leaving us and heading and supporting her family at her family time. And this time of life, she has decided she is going to prioritize. And family trumped us, doggone it. So.
As it should. But y'all have a wonderful week, and we will see y'all in I guess it'll be two Fridays. In 2 Fridays. Y'all come back next Friday to see our rerun. But y'all have a great week. Bye, y'all. Bye.
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 Hey, Monica, did you know it's now even easier to listen to Around the Hay Bale podcast?
What? Really? How easy?
That's right. All you have to do is say, Alexa, play Round the Hay Bale podcast.
Playing Round the Hay Bale podcast on Apple Music.
Ooh, we're really fancy now.
Tune in to Round the Hay Bale every Monday at 9 a.m. Central Time.